All right, we are back with another PrizePicks video. Going to be talking NBA in this one. It's kind of an earlier look right now, so not all the plays are on the board just yet. So limited board, but I will definitely try to make another video later on today, going over maybe updated lines or maybe some games that aren't even on the board yet. So definitely let me know if you'd be interested in like a follow-up video, just to give you guys more plays really. But before we get into it, I always want to say, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Like the video so more people can see it, and comment down below if you like one of these picks, if you don't like one of these picks, or if you're taking any of them. But let's go into our video picks from last time. Didn't make a video at all on Sunday. It was the first day I've missed in I think over a month. Had a whole bunch going on with trying to get into a new apartment. I'm sure you guys understand how much of a tedious process that can be, but that took up a lot of my day. So these were our picks from Saturday. We had Suggs continue to kill this line in a good matchup for guards against Milwaukee. Pirtle didn't even come close to this line. We knew it was a tough matchup for him in Boston. And then Kyle Lowry with no Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero had at least pushed this line. It was like a minus 200 odds to at least push, but just didn't get there for us. But we always run the flex play on three-man plays just because it's better odds. Not better odds, just like it's not enough bang for your buck to do a power play on three-mans. Really on PrizePicks, you should be shooting for 2-mans, 6-mans, or 5-mans. So whenever I give like less picks like that, you can either run it as a flex play or just like mix and match it to try to make 2-man or a larger parlay. But let's jump into the board. Again, not all the games are on there. We got some like injury people, like De'Aaron Fox is questionable or like doubtful, and some other guys in the 4-game slate tomorrow. There's 4 or 5 games. Let's see. 4 games tomorrow. So, yeah, a little bit of injury news that we still need, and some players just aren't even up here yet. But let's jump into it from what we have so far. I'm going to go chronologically like I always do. First guy I'm going to start with is Derek White. I think we talked about it in an earlier video, but he recently had a child, and whenever that happens in the NBA, it seems like you play like 2 times better than you have. That's an exaggeration, but Derek White's had a really good year. And I'm just going to go to his 7.5 rebounds and assists. He's been very consistent on this line. He's played the Knicks early in the year, and he got this line to get 8. But he's been, when I say really consistent, he's been really consistent. So let's look at Derek White's page real quick. Just if I can spell it right. Derek White. By the way, if you are new to like this tool that I use, I always go over to Outlier. It's kind of a one-stop shop for like so much analytical data with a very nice interface. Visually, and it gives you so much data. Like I don't even know where to start. It tells you last 5, last 10, last 20, last head-to-head, 2023 as a whole. It will show you how many times they've hit these props, their implied odds right here, their opponent rankings, specifically against that position as well. You can see how they've done without players in the lineup. So in terms of like player props, it's awesome. It has games tags, it has trends tags, so it has a whole bunch of data. But if that's something you're interested in, definitely go ahead and hit the link in the description for a full free week trial. And after that, it's only like $20 a month. So it's not like some $200 app. But it's really nice. So definitely check that out. But without further ado, let's go into Derek White's page real quick. 7.5 rebounds and assists. And again, I said consistent, right? Literally practically 9 every single game. He's gone over in 6 of the 7 games so far this year that he's played. He did miss 1 or 2 games after the birth of his child. But the odds are liking it at minus 129. And yeah, he did it against the Knicks. Got 8 with 6 boards and 2 assists. We know he can, dime the ball when he needs to. Very consistently getting, around 5, let's say. And he can grab boards too. I know Drew Holiday's been stealing a few of those from him this year, but he can definitely get boards as well. So I'm liking Derek White in the 7.5 spot, and wouldn't be surprised if this gets bumped. So try to get that in early. Next up, we're going to be talking in the same game. Oh no, we'll talk about him later because it's probably my least favorite play. But Scotty Barnes is a solid one for us today, going up against a horrible Washington Wizards team, probably one of the worst teams in recent memory for the NBA. But they're a joke defensively. People have been scoring on them at will. If we go check out total points for teams against them, opponent points, we can see that they're giving up 123 points per game, just under San Antonio at 124. So should be a lot of scoring opportunity for Scotty Barnes, who hasn't been scoring as much as he was at the beginning of the season. He's had an insane year, but kind of 2 off nights, I guess you could say, for him. I would be 100% going to his fantasy score, just because he's so good defensively as well. If you open up his blocks and steals line, I mean, you can see that he has potential to go crazy with that. So I would love his fantasy score line. It's just not on the board yet. But let's go to his points, rebounds, and assists at 33.5. Looks like the odds are pretty even. And he's gone over this in 7 of 10 games, or 7 of the last 10. But in terms of this year, 7 of 9 games, even a little bit better. And in terms of scoring, he had 14 points against the Dallas. And, I was kind of worried, he might not get his points, rebounds, assists. It's somewhere that I bet on him. And I was surprised when I saw, oh, wait, he actually got it, because he got 14 boards and 7 assists. So he can definitely do it in a whole bunch of different ways. He was scoring like crazy in the beginning of the year, only 10 points against Boston, but again, a difficult matchup there for him. He should have a field day against Washington, really be able to get, anything he can get. And that gives us like an assist prop as well. If he's getting it going, but also maybe like Siakam's getting it going, or any other guy down there, he can maybe get some dimes in there as well. So rebounds look good, points look good, and assists look good. So I'm really liking this spot for Scotty. And then let's get him in there. 33.5. Yeah, so still no fantasy score line, but I think I definitely love that. If it's at like 40, 41, 42, around that area, I definitely take that for sure. But let's move on to the next guy, Evan Mobley. Another kind of consistent line here for him. 1.5 turnovers. Obviously, we had no like Garland in the beginning of the year. Mitchell's missed a few games. Jared Allen's missed a few games. But he's been consistent with this. Doesn't really matter who's in the lineup. We're going over 1.5 turnovers. In the past 5, you can see he's averaging 2.4 with that big game with 5 turnovers against Golden State. If we look specifically at power forwards going up against Sacramento as well, we can see that Sacramento does force a whole bunch of these. Yeah, 3.5 turnovers to power forwards specifically. So that's just another added boost here. Let's open up his outlier page real quick for Mobley. I think everyone should be healthy in this one. So surprisingly for the Cavs, who've been very injured this year. Where are we going? Turnovers. So it is a minus 120, so a little bit favored to go over this line. He's gone over this in 8 of the last 10, but in terms of 2023, 7 of the last 9. And again, very consistent at that 2 mark. And a solid matchup against Sacramento. If you're looking over at this and you're wondering why this is like not telling the whole truth, it's because it's taking into account last year as well. So once if we have like, I think maybe a month or like a month and a half under our belt, this will switch to completely this year. But this again is taking stats from last year as well. So I just like to rely on like a different website for that. But once this is updated, these are perfect. Like for football, those are like completely perfect, and it's super easy to be able to see from there. But for now, I just wanted to highlight that if you're ever wondering why this is like why I'm not looking at the opponent rank here. But yeah, looks really good. Mobley, I expect 2. I mean, he's been doing it all year, and a good matchup against Sacramento in terms of getting turnovers for power forwards. Odds are liking it. I'm liking it. Yeah, looking good. So Mobley at 1.5 turnovers. And then that, last but not least, this is the one I was talking about, maybe my quote-unquote least favorite one of the day. It's going to be Mitchell Robinson, not Machel. Mitchell Robinson. I was going to look at his first half stats, like 8.5, I think he's rocking for points, rebounds, and assists. That was intriguing to me. I was looking at his full game points, rebounds, and assists. I'm actually just going to go to his 9.5 rebounds and assists, and I'm going to go over here. And the reason that's like, I guess, at least my least favorite of these is because of the matchup with Boston. Now, I think they'll have to run a lot of zone against this team with Porzingis being out there stretching the floor. And at the beginning of the year, they played, I think, at the debut of the season for them. And Porzingis had a field day, and Mitchell Robinson was in foul trouble, so we didn't get a whole lot of game between them. But let's just open up his page because he's been rocking it in any other game. It was just that first game that he just didn't do it well. But in terms of rebounds and assists here, he had 7, so he had 6 rebounds and 1 assist. I think it's funny because his rebounds line is the same as this at 9.5 for a plus 105. His rebounds and assists is 9.5 at -133. So we kind of get that added bonus of maybe he gets an assist, which would be nice, and he did in that first game. But again, I don't know if he got played off the court in this one. I know he had 3 fouls in the first half. I did look that up, so he was dealing with foul trouble, but just didn't play a whole lot of minutes. That's the moral of the story in the games that he misses this. If he gets 22, 23 minutes, he doesn't seem to get there. He gets any more than that, he crushes this line. So again, I think they could go to a zone and Mitchell Robinson would be fine playing against the Celtics. But if not, if Porzingis is really spreading the floor because they have a bunch of shooters out there, and Mitchell Robinson maybe gets played off the floor, that's my only hesitancy here. But I think it looks solid, solid enough to play for sure. But if you're not liking them, maybe run a 3-man flex or get a few of your own picks in there without the Mitchell Robinson one. But I already went ahead and submitted this, so we can go over that when that games are finished. And I'll definitely be trying to make another video later in the day where we can attack the entire slip with like fantasy scores and all that. So let me know if you're interested in that. And that will do it for this one. Thursday night football video that I did just put out, or sorry, not Thursday night, Monday night football video that I just did will probably be popping up now. So definitely go check that one out as well. I gave you guys 5 picks that I liked over there. So yeah, kind of ripping out content after missing Sunday. But yeah, let's make some money tonight, guys, and peace out.